Hello, I'm Danny, the ADHD medium, and welcome. This one's just kind of a quick and dirty pop in. I have been working on looking at what's coming next, what the astrology shows that's coming next, and then also historically, where has this happened in history before? I consider myself an evidential medium. So everything that spirit gives me, I want evidence for. So when I first started looking into the story, I'm in the United States, I'm in California. As I started looking at what is next for us, where are we going? Because I couldn't wrap my head around that we would just very quickly, like Trump would die and we're done and we just go back to normal. That didn't fit. There's so much damage that's been done already. And from a spiritual standpoint, what would be the point of this? For us just to go back to the way things were and still struggle. We need healthcare. We need higher wages. We need to be able to afford food again. It doesn't make sense in my mind why we would just, okay, he's gone and like, whew, crisis averted. So I think originally I had thought that we might see his passing sometime in October. I think that was more symbolic, like a hollowing out, like a hollow shell, essentially, like he is in name only, which is pretty much what's happening. Like, give me a break if you think he's sitting there making policy decisions. And I mean, dude can barely stay awake through everything else. Like the US Open, that's not government related. He's dozing off. Pope's funeral, dozing off. I think even recently, there was like I believe it was a cabinet meeting. Don't quote me on the meeting type, but it was one of importance in a press conference, and he's just dozing. And then once he hears his name, he like pops back up and like, so it's like he's not making any kind of decisions. So I think, yes, as much as I hate it when people are saying, "Oh, I don't want to wish anybody bad." I do, man. Not bad, but it's like you have your contract. Like, when is it your turn to punch that and go home? Have you learned your lessons yet? Is it time to go yet? So I wouldn't say wishing harm, but like, is your contract done yet? Because I think we've all had enough. But it is interesting to watch and look from a spiritual perspective and knowing that he is a catalyst to change. So if the catalyst dies too early, what change would come from it? We would still be stuck in the same path, in the same spot. With that said, I believe that things are going to get a lot worse. I was nervous to come and talk about it, but spirit won't. So when I'm reading or getting information, they won't move on to the next subject until I release that evidence. And so basically, it's been like the last day or two, like the nagging, like, come on, come on. I think it's just the main theme of the videos I've been putting out right now is standing still in the chaos, knowing that systems are going to collapse. People will probably be hungry. Healthcare, all of these systems that need to fall are going to fall. And we need a new government, a new system. And that is common throughout history. Every country has gone through a collapse and a rebuild. And so what spirit is telling me is we're at the beginning of the collapse. And they keep giving me like a volcano, but it's not a volcano. It's like a big mountain, but everything is hollow inside and everything is slowly eroding. And so while everyone is resuming their lives and living, meanwhile, all this is happening, trying to keep up with anything in the news, like it's constant bombardment and distraction. So I believe the shutdown is a distraction. We're all talking about that. How will people get paid? How will people eat? And meanwhile, the things that we aren't seeing behind the scenes, everything is just cleaning out this mountain. And eventually it's going to collapse in. So I keep feeling like next year, mid June-ish, I think May we'll start seeing more. God, back up because we're going to keep seeing things collapse. And then I think May or June will be the really intense part of this collapse. What Spirit's telling me, I went and looked at the Vedic astrology. Well, what does that say? Because I feel like I have this crazy story in my head. And then I also went into history to see, okay, when these things start happening, what happens? What comparison can we make? So I will go out and well, not go out. So those videos, I'll do parts for those that want to crack out with me and really deep dive into it, and we'll pull all of that apart and compare. And I really want to find the evidence that this what I'm seeing is like, okay, this is we're following this pattern. I did a Project 2025 video, which I feel like everybody has heard about it. I'm sure there's some that haven't, but the majority of us are aware of it, but it kind of has just disappeared into the background instead of realizing like we have the framework, we have the plan. And so part of these social systems going away, like food stamps, that's in there. So that's why I just have this nagging like I don't know. I don't know that they're really going to rush because I mean they're obviously not rushing now. They're not even in session. They're just been dismissed and, go enjoy your vacation why everything falls apart. So, with that being said, okay, they're reminding me. So, also another reason the anonymous source that donated for the military the 130 million, which apparently is only like a third of a day's pay per service member, that I'll get the name and put it, I'll put it in the description. There's ties to Epstein there. So you have a lot of people not wanting them, Congress, to go back in. And okay, so when Congress resumes and they swear in another Congress member, there will be the 218 signature to force the vote on releasing the Epstein files. If Prince Andrew gave up his titles, his properties, and all of that, I mean, we all suspect it's going to be bad, but to give up all of your royalty, like it's going to be bad. What his spirit has showed me is the spider web of that touches so many, and when that comes out, the essential mudflinging, because those that race to make a deal usually get the best one. So we're going to see the infighting and the information. I just get mudslinging. They did this, they did that, and another like just constant information and media. Just so many stories we can't keep up. But as that is happening, we also have the economic side and the economic collapse. And so all of that combined is just the folding in. And so we'll be okay. Like, it's just to be aware of it. And so that you take the time to stop and breathe and use your head when you're making decisions going forward. As all of this starts, it's like pressure and pressure on the outside. It's not us like exploding and, explosions outwards. It's the pressure caving in and feeling all that. So it's just important to like keep your curiosity, keep present in your mind that this is a catalyst for change, and the rebuilding that we will do in 2027 and beyond, I believe will be really good. And we'll get a lot of the corruption out of our government, as well as the biggest theme of relying on each other. I think the community coming together and each of us supporting each other and helping each other through this is what will prevent the civil war type scenario, because we see our neighbors suffering. We see kids going hungry. And at the end of the day, we are human and we live with our hearts. And when we see somebody suffering, that compassion and empathy that will come back out in society will be really beautiful. I'm going to stop there, but I will go ahead and do more deep dives. So watch out for those. And yeah, take a breath. It's tornado coming on through. And I just see this picture of those of us who are prepared for this and knowing what's coming, standing as the tornado is coming by with just the power stance. I did a meditation of just pulling into the earth, and I just rooted and grounded, hair in the wind, smile on the face, not in a happy way, but in that I'm okay. I am safe. And I know this is a catalyst, and I know this will be okay as this tornado rips by. And just knowing that spirit has our back, that we have each other's back, and we'll be okay. So thank you for spending this time with me. As always, deep breaths, keep yourself grounded, and I will see you soon.